Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Wordsmith Forge. I'm Matthew J. Coran, and today we're going to talk about perfectionism and why it sucks and how it keeps you from doing the things you want to do. So, I actually did a blog post about this. You can see it on, I think, Substack and Medium. I did a post called Poisonous Perfectionism, or Perfectionism is Poison. That's what I call it. That's probably what I'm going to call this video. And so, I kind of want to give a brief introduction to what I'm talking about here and how it relates to writers, especially. I feel like writers have this problem more than anyone because of how it's with other artists too, but there's just something about writers where there's a lot of stage fright and a lot of fear involved. And so, as an artist in general, you want people to like your work. You just do. It's natural. And so you want to make it as good as possible, right? The problem is it will never be as good as you want it to be because you're imperfect and you're incapable of producing anything that's perfect. There's always going to be something you can improve on. There's always going to be something that you can fix. That's always going to be true. And you know what? That's true of all of the authors that you read about that are making millions of dollars. That's true of athletes. That's true of every high performer in every industry. They can always improve too. So, what's the difference? We're gonna kind of get into that. And so, I'm going to share kind of my own experience with perfectionism and how it didn't stop me from publishing my book, but it was heavily discouraging me and it was stressing me out a lot. And it was like typos and just things I could have worded better. And, I didn't have the greatest editing. I had an awesome developmental editor. I had a proofreader who caught most of the stuff, and I didn't have a copy editor. It wasn't like Penguin House quality publishing, but for a guy with a ragtag team, mostly doing most of this himself, uh, we did the best we could. And I don't regret it. I don't regret it. And you shouldn't either. You shouldn't regret putting your work out there. Like I was going crazy over the fact that I had one of my chapter names, Sowing in Abundance. I accidentally spelled it SEW instead of SOW, and most people didn't even catch that. It was one guy who caught it out of like dozens who have read my book at this point. And it drove me crazy. I was like, how did I miss that? How did I miss that? It's so obvious once it's pointed out, but you're not going to see anything because as an engineer, I should understand this intuitively, and I don't. But it makes sense. I wrote upwards of 100,000 words. 100,000. I was concerned over one. I was concerned over one word out of 100,000. Do you know what that is? That's a margin of error of less than 0.05%. Engineers will design systems with a margin of error of up to 5%. And it'll be fine. It's so funny to me because as engineers, you in the engineering world, you are more lackadaisical than the writing world. In the engineering world, it's like, oh yeah, I screwed up like some coding here, or like, yeah, this is installed a little incorrectly, but it gets the job done. You know, it's fine. And like that's not just me. That's a lot of people in that industry, and people are fine with it because it works. Why is it in the writing world that it's like you misspell one word and all of a sudden it's ruined? It's not. It's like in the rest of the artistic world. It's not ruined. When you're at a concert and you're listening to Red Hot Chili Peppers or whoever, and they play one wrong note on the guitar, do you remember that? No, you probably don't even notice. Even people that are reading your work, they're not going to notice you spelled it with the wrong letter. Or if they do, they're going to forget about it later on. And the people that don't forget about it, you're not writing for anyway. Because it's such a small minority of people, they don't matter in that regard. I am not marketing for people that nitpick every little word. I'm marketing mostly for young men who want an inspiring story that isn't trying to make them gay or trans. And those people, they just want a story. They're not looking for perfection. They're looking for inspiration. And you can give them inspiration without being perfect, because no one is perfect. Like these people you see out in the world inspiring other people every day, millions of people, they're not perfect. They're not doing things perfectly. Look at sports. How many times that players mess up and people still wear their jerseys. Like, you do not have to be perfect. Stop thinking you need to be perfect. And you can learn from your mistakes, Every time that a mistake is pointed out to you, be grateful, because you can learn from it. It makes you better. So then the next product you put out is even better than the last one. It's an upward growth instead of things getting worse over time. Because at the end of the day, people are interested in you, in your work, and they want to, it's much more enriching for them to be on this journey with you, growing, than for you to just put out nothing but perfect stuff, like heavily edited to the point where it's not even your own words anymore, and it's very standard and blah, and or appealing to different crowds, like you're seeing a lot of top authors doing right now. I won't name any names, but be you. Be yourself. That is the best way to market your book. Be yourself. Yes, try to make things as high quality as you can, but don't beat yourself up over it. Just be genuine. And people are going to see that you're genuine, because people have a sense for when people are being fake and when they're not. When they see that you're not being fake and you're being real, that just, it increases the relationship between you and your readers. You're being real with them, and then they can offer input into your writing, and you can accept their input. You can even say hey, thank you for that suggestion. I'm actually implementing that into this next book. That just increases the relationship between you and your readers, and it makes it fun for everyone. And that's the beauty of art. It's not about being perfect, because you're not capable of it. You can't give what you don't have. You're never going to be perfect, so it's foolish to think you can make anything perfect. I probably said perfect at least 47 times right now. See, I do it too. But we move on. It's great. It's fun, and it's the whole reason why we do what we do. And until next time, take care. God bless. See you later.